Whoa, I think we're live. Did I push the right buttons?
Yeah.
All the way live.
Oh, super cool. So here we are. This is Dope or Nope. We do this every week, Thursday, 3 p.m. EST. The illustrious panel today has shrunk a little bit, so there's that. I'm okay with it. Please meet Lauren Padman, Vice President of Dimmock Records. That's 2 words, by the way, since I like to write it as 1 word occasionally. And with a capital M. Dimmock. He is also a tremendous asset to us from the studio perspective. He spent a lot of time there working with incredible artists, putting together songs and songwriting. Yeah. John McDizzle McDaniel is a 30-plus year radio programmer sitting to my right here. And he has a tremendous ears. Like, I can't believe the songs that this guy has broken over his career in Seattle. Just really made that station hum. My name is Hess. I do some radio promo once in a while. I talk to some people. I talk shit. And Lauren likes to say, no. That's my humble version.
This is the part where I feel like someone else needs to jump in and go, no, this is not great. I would love to have like a tally of the amount of #1 songs that you've promoted over the years. And it would just be in triple digits. And you've broken so many artists, and so many artists who are touring and have got fans with tattoos on their body because of you.
Whoa. No.
So I think that it's an understatement to keep talking about how I do some promo. I'm like, wait a minute. Has anyone heard of the words loud luxury? Probably not.
Right. Don't minimize it, George.
We did have a little fun with that. We did have.
Wow, the split head. That was cool.
About that. I'm trying to make this thing fit. I don't know how Nick did it so it would fit on.
That's right.
Yeah. He stacked it.
He did, right? Oh, wait, is there another? Oh, hello.
There you go. Oh, but not quite. Okay. We have to get rid of the other 2 slots. Anyway, while you're doing that, we could listen to a tune, perhaps, because
I think
our intention today is
excellent
to find hits and give good feedback on the hits.
Right, exactly. So I think, by the way, so the one thing, wow, this looks weird to me. I can't make it. This is going to sound weird also, but I can't make it longer. So sorry. I'm going to go back to this one. Hey, everybody. What's up? Bianca, HD, Spawn, Mesa and Boss, Versu. I see you there. Who else is here so far? That's it? All right.
Who else
in regards to the #1s, I will say we've had a lot of fun. Okay? Absolutely. The one I'm the most proud of is, and I don't remember if it was a #1 or not, but there are 2 when I work for Arista. One, Lisa Stansfield, All Around the World, still to this day. What a song. And James Brown is Dead.
Ooh, LA Style.
By LA Style. Platinum record here in the United States. When I got that on like a few radio stations, yes. Whoa. That was like the craziest song you want to hear at like 8 in the morning.
Totally.
Insane. If you're not familiar with that song, look it up. It's bananas. But let's get to some demos, shall we? Our first one is by Moniker, since John helped me out with how to say that, since I called it 5 letters last time. And this one is called House Music, and you're listening to Dope or Nope.
Let's go.
Its most recent contribution to the American music scene is how it got its name. So-called house music was first made in the creators' houses, but it was also performed at clubs called the Warehouse and Powerhouse. However it got its name, it's one of the hottest things going. Music. House.
Danny Wilson on keyboard, the DJ called Farley. Farley, Jackmaster Funk, one of the creators of house music, is ready to make a tape. It all starts with a heavy beat. It all starts with a heavy beat.
That's a moniker with house music. What do you guys think?
It's pretty fun. I like all those audio actualities of what sounds like a news story about house music. Yeah, pretty fun. It's, maybe not a great radio record, a great mix show record, I think. Yeah, it's definitely got some redeeming qualities about it. Pretty catchy.
What do you think, boss? You're muted.
I really loved it when it came in so hot. I thought, oh, Hess has opened up a news YouTube thing and he's getting one of those SoundCloud pre-ads or something. And I was like, this is actually sounding really good over the top of this track. And I was like, wait a minute. And this all happened within 1 second, just so you know. But it instantly strikes you as like, oh, that's not meant to be there. But wait, it sounds so good. Oh, damn, this is cool.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting from it. It's really.
Did you think it was too loud though?
Yeah, very loud. Too loud. Yes, but also fine. Whatever.
Yeah.
If it was buried, if it was down a little bit in the mix and felt more glued in, then it would be better for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think both times that they brought in, I mean, it's cool, nice tribute to house music, to American house music, if you will. But definitely that layer of it was in a little hot for me. Because I did the same thing. I'm like, oh shit, what's wrong? But yeah, it was just really the song. But I like the track. I like the builds. I like everything that was happening there. That was kind of cool.
I really like it.
That was Moniker again with house music right here on Dope or Nope. Up next we have Mesa and Boss, and this is called BS&T, or Blood, Sweat, and Tears. The Dope or Nope edit. I love when they do that.
At the end of the longest day, will I wait for you again till the dead of night? Nothing kept me warm but your promises. Tell me it could be forgiven. See through you crystal clear. You can't hide. Did you think I'd leave you here? Tell me it could be forgiven. Swear that I will never relive it. 'Cause we burned it down and then I rebuilt it. But all of the lost time will never get that back. And don't forget about the blood, sweat, and tears you don't see. Harder to hold, that's all that you know. Just half a year, you and me. How many more waiting at your door? Blood, sweat, and tears. I'm harder to hold. Blood, sweat, and tears you don't see. Harder to hold, that's all that you know. Just half a year, you and me. How many more waiting at your door?
Oh, every week.
Wow.
Mesa and Boss with Blood, Sweat, and Tears. Who's signing that one?
I'm trying to do a bell. Yep, that'll work.
Ooh, nicely done.
Thanks
Here's
very
mine.
much.
Cup of coffee on the mic.
Wow, that's 2 bells. Ugh.
Yeah.
Well, that was one of those
really
was
nice.
mine.
What do you guys, wow. Every week with this stuff.
That's cool. 3 bells. That was great. I have to tell you, there was a really cool production thing that they did where it built up, and then when the drop hit, it wasn't just straight bang on dum dum dum. There was like a doubling effect which sort of sounded like an echo, and then it did its thing and then stopped. And when I first heard it, I was like, oh, is that a mistake? And I'm like, no, it's not. It's one of those things, like, what is cool, right? And it's impossible to put your finger on it, but a lot of the times it's things where you don't expect something to happen, or when it's unexpected, but it's done on purpose with intent. It therefore is a cool thing because a person isn't making a random mistake. There's no randomness to it. It's by design, and that's what that felt like to me. That part of the drop, it felt like a cool "I'm gonna fuck with you" thing because it's by design. Which is how, by the way, we've come up with these things called false drops, or what do they call them now? Fake outs, where you do this big build up and then you get 4 beats of no drop. Well, that was the DJ's mistake when he had all the bass out and then threw the bass in one time, and they're like, oh, that really works, I'm going to do that in my record. So I think that's kind of like what we're hearing there. I really loved it. Great record.
Yeah, it had a lot of, I heard what you heard, Lauren, but I couldn't have come up with the words to actually say them. So thank you for hearing what I heard and essentially illustrating kind of, oh, look at all that. Illustrating what, that's a lot of
in it to win it. There we go.
I'm trying to figure it out. I'm almost
there. What
there.
a great track, though. You know, Mesa and Boss, this is another song out of their treasure trove of dance songs, and they never seem to disappoint. So, yeah, I mean, bells everywhere.
Yeah, we had 3 bells.
Nice job. Really delicious.
That's
track.
great. Wow. It's
How about this one?
Going on here?
Like Hess is going through every single one trying to find.
How about this one? Yeah, because they're so
tiny.
tiny, I can't even tell what's even on them.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with this one. You guys good with that?
Yeah, it looks good to me.
I don't have a problem with
DopeOrNopeMusic.com. By the way, if you're trying to drop a demo off, DopeOrNopeMusic.com.
Right.
That's what you got to do. All right, back to the comments. So Mason Boss, thank you, man.
Yeah,
really good.
Amazing.
Killer tune. Shall we do another one? What do we got next?
Please.
Oh, Rimnez. Rimnez. I like this. Hold on. This is Dope or Nope. This is called Get Up by Mr. Rimnez. Right here. Get Up, in case you didn't catch that, by Rimnez. What do you guys think?
I really liked it. Really cool. Really great bottom end rhythm section. feel very glued in. I think maybe there might be some ways of working on transitions or trying to create a little bit more tension release. I think the first drop seemed to just sort of hit without that, sliding volume down into the drop, so you get that apparent volume lift, which is always tantalizing. But yeah, it was really cool. I think for the purposes of like a Tiesto set, let's call it, of old, a classic Tiesto set, I think that it would be really good. Yeah, I think energy-wise for clubs it would be good. So this is the club mix for me. It was good.
Yeah. John, what do you got?
Yeah, nice one. It had a really nice solid groove. I really like all of the. It had a sort of like a lush sound to it that immediately sort of drew me in. I think it was well produced, and I think the way it was laid out sort of made me anticipate kind of what was coming next. So it kind of left me really interested in knowing where else the track was going to go. So nice one, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. I think, what do you think about a vocal on that, Lauren?
Oh yeah, for sure. Screaming out her vocal. It would make it feel less repetitive because there would be more variation created by the lifts in the vocals, changing not key, but certainly lifting according to pre-choruses and chorus, etc., and hooks and things. It'd be great. Vocal would be great.
I really kept thinking that on the track. I was like, this track is actually really, really solid. But then also there's room, And I don't know, do you improve it as a track or do you, get a top line? I think top line's the way to go.
Top line, I think. Yeah, top line. I think at this point you've done enough and you'd send it out and give a vocalist who's looking for a track a chance to try their craft. And
I'm available.
Yeah, okay, great. So JB's available. That works.
Rimnaz.
Right on. I like it. Yeah, super cool. Rimnez with Get Up. Let's see, our next demo. Oh, Mr. DJ Kirk, hold on. This is I Am DJ Kirk, and I'll be dancing right here on Dope or Nope. Take it up to the drop. By the way, I just want to go back to Mesa and Boss.
Yeah.
And Rimnez, right? A bell for Rimnez for me. Sorry, I forgot to do that. Sorry, I got all caught up in the what's going on with this. What's the top line that should go on this was just like rolling around in my head. So DJ Kirk, who wants to go first?
You go ahead, JB. feedback to that song. Uh-oh.
Sorry about that. I was looking at George's Instagram. So yeah, I liked it. It does sound like the kind of record that with the right tight edit could be the kind of record that could work at dance radio. I like that kind of vocal treatment. You're really screwing me over here. Changing
Sorry,
that while I'm talking.
If you need like Dramamine or something, don't watch this for the next like minute or so. I'm gonna.
So nice one. So that was I am DJ Kirk is the name of the artist.
Just DJ Kirk.
Oh, just DJ Kirk. So okay,
Yeah.
and then I'll be dancing. Yeah, I might be dancing to that.
Well,
that's a good one.
You go. Very nice. That's a really cool tune. There was something about it which didn't feel completely glued in, and I don't know whether it was the vocal not feeling like a sample enough to be part of the song, or whether that's a vocal that shouldn't be on that particular song, and it would sound like, how would it be if it was just an instrumental? Would you miss the vocal? What should the vocal be? Should it be that? Should it be male, female, sung, looped? All those kinds of questions. I would start by just going to the instrumental and seeing if you have a compelling enough thing. Because I noticed that when it built for the last drop that we listened to and it landed into just kicks and pianos, which was kind of cool, but for some reason I didn't expect it. I thought it was meant to be something bigger because the energy felt like it was heading that way, especially with their vocal. So I don't know. For me, it wasn't quite sure as to how it was all meshing together. And I would try separate and then come back and decide what works, or what do you miss, or what can you do without. And that's probably a good starting point. Yep.
Yeah, I dug the track. I'm not 100% sure I love the pianos.
Yeah, maybe it was
I love pianos. And I don't know if it's like the way it was sitting on the track or not sitting on the track.
Yeah, I felt the same way. That's a really good point. It was that. It was the pianos just sort of felt like kind of odd. Maybe you know what it could be? It could be, I always believe in light and shade in records, and I think that if you've got a vocal which is quite soulful, it felt like a very soulful male vocal. I think when that happens, you need to have darkness. It's almost like you need to excuse it by having a very heavy drop instead. And when it kind of like opened up into pianos, I think it's a very light and like if it was a color, the pianos would be, let's say, yellow or orange, and the vocal was also yellow and orange. And what I was trying to suggest is that we either have a dark color, like a dark blue, and then you go to yellow, or you go to yellow and then drop. So there needs to be an alteration. There needs to be a feeling of a change. And I know that people with synesthesia who see colors when they listen to music say that that's exactly what happens when you get really good songs. You get a pretty vocal, and then you get a very rude sounding drop, which is a darker color.
Right. Sorry, what's that called?
It's called synesthesia.
There was a rave song called that years ago.
Really? Yeah. Yeah.
Probably
it wouldn't be very good
was.
because people go, I want to go and see the movie. What's it called again? Sinner. Forget about it. That's what happened to Shawshank Redemption. Actually, nobody knew what the movie was called, so therefore, the box office was horrible. It was only later a viral hit on home video because the title was bad. That's why you got to have a title that's snippety snappity,
kind of like Dope or Nope.
Yep. That'll work all around the world.
There it is.
You get it right.
DJ Kirk, I'll be dancing. Thanks for sending that over. What's up next? Oh, Pexel. I haven't seen one from him in a minute.
Pexel. Well.
Pexel. You ready? This is called Astronaudal.
Uh-oh.
What? Speaking of not snappy. Here we go. Dope or Nope. Bianca, change that name. That is Pexel with Astronautical.
Very nice.
Really nice track.
Ooh.
Bells.
We're going with the bell?
Yep. Tons of bells. Just bell city over here. There we go. Very nice. It's not a bad bell.
Thank you.
Let's try to stay.
Yeah, mine's bad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I like
Do you need one, JB?
I still like the whistle. The whistle's good.
JB needs
I
one.
got the whistle.
Yeah. There it is.
Can I help you?
Wow, that song got me from
Great
like the
record.
first few notes. Just really well done. It makes me want to hear more of it. Makes me want to turn it up, like maybe in the car or something.
Yeah.
Just a feel good piece of music that made me feel good when I heard it. So nice
Amazing.
job, Pexel.
Yeah, really great record. I've got a lot to say on this song, but I'll summarize by saying that bass line is fantastic. So good. And I think the words astronautical are very difficult to share. To your point there, Hess. Very difficult to share, very difficult to spell. There'll be astro something. So I wonder if there could be astro something, another word that's got two syllables that could change it. Or it's just an unusual word and they hear it so often that by the end they're like, oh yeah, I know it. It's astronautical. Cool. It's like an astronaut with an AL at the end. Cool. I don't know how to do it. I feel like there was just something weird happening in the whereabouts. It's like in the background mids. It sounded slightly muffled. And it just didn't feel as clean as I know it could sound, which made me think to myself, what was it? And I couldn't pick it out precisely to be able to go, oh, it's that thing. But my instinct is to go through all the noises and find out what noise is kind of making, you know how there's white noise? There's also white, there's pink, there's brown, there's a bunch of different colors. I think it's brown noise. I think it's the brown noise frequency. There's a really like a low end kind of ruffling of hands or ruffling of paper, but buried, and it's in the drop, and it feels to me like it's slowing down the ability for the drop to punch more with more attack, and instead it just comes across slightly muffled. So you've got a really great record there. Just give it another session to go through it and see if there's anything that can make it the punch a little bit more precisely. That's all. But
Don't
apart
you
from
feel
that,
like Nile Rodgers should be in that somewhere?
Nile Rodgers should be on that song.
I mean, or I just felt like it was that vibe where he was just, this, like when that song really got going and all,
Yeah.
it was just had like a nice pepper of funk in there, you know, in the background to me.
Yeah.
And I just felt like immediately like him playing in a video just like came in my head. But yeah, really nice. Pexel, thank you for sending that over.
Well
all right, next one is, I'm going to say this incorrectly, but I'm going to go for it. Jayem, Jayem, and Tima D, and this is called Come My Way, and this is Dope or Nope.
Got me thinking things about us, my mind on overdrive, and usually about that life. No expectations, we could do whatever we want. Don't worry about the time. Stay with me on your body, on my body, all these sheets. Want it every day of the week. I don't know where this is gonna go, but all I know, I ain't got no problem since you come my way. I ain't got no problem since you on my brain. If I'm being honest, I don't want no face. Since you come my way, I've been singing la 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 la. I've been singing la 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 la. I've been singing la 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 la. Since you come my way, don't need a label, we already know about it. Let's keep it you and I, let's keep it fun tonight. All on the table, I ain't got no time to be sus, don't got a thing to hide. Baby, look me in my eyes. Body on your body, on my body, on these sheets. Want it every day of the week. I don't know where this is gonna go, but all I know, I ain't got no problem since you come my way. I ain't got no problem since you on my brain. If I'm being honest, I don't want no space. Since you come my way, I've been singing la la la.
So there it is. That's JM and Tima D, Come My Way. Gentlemen,
I've got stuff, but I can wait.
I think as a track, it sounded really good. I like the bouncy sort of feel that it has. It does sound like it could be the kind of song that could work at dance radio. You know, if it was, you know, go one more run through the processing and make sure that everything in there belongs. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was catchy. I like the track.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to surprise you all and say that that's a really solid instrumental. It felt fun to listen to it. I was purposely trying. You know how there's a theory that says it's so hard to catch a person's first impression, and generally people are busy doing something when they're listening to music. They're not doing what we're doing. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to look at an email or whatever. I'm just going to be slightly distracted, which is what I was doing then. And what I noticed was that I really liked the music, and it made me feel like I was bouncing around and grooving, and the music felt really good. And then I was listening to the vocalist, and honestly, the vocalist is actually quite good. She's not trying to be a super diva or anything. She's just trying to have a very strong, solid, mid-range voice, and it sounded really strong. Actually, I quite like the tone, because she could go to like low notes and then come out with a little bit of flair. But I don't remember any of the words. I don't remember any of the lyrics at all. Nothing's sticky enough for me to remember it. I remember the melody. Da, 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 da. I remember that way kind of vocal hooky bit, but I don't remember any of the lyrics. So I think that you're competing not with good songs, but you're competing with great songs. So if you've got a song which is good, sure, put it out, no problem. But have your expectations of what would another good song do in today's climate. And if if you're okay with that, that's cool. But you've got a really good potential there, an opportunity to potentially step it up. Because the music was really, really good. The feeling of it was fun. Sure, you could clean it up a little bit, I'm sure. The vocal sounds really cool, but I didn't really catch any of the lyrics. There was no hook for me.
Right.
But apart from that, it's worth
100%.
half a bell. So there's my
Okay.
half.
So I'll give a
You want
half
that
as
half
well.
bell on you, would you?
You know, the thing is, like, I 3/4 of the way in, that's when I was like, okay,
Yeah, same actually. Yeah.
super, like, probably
Yeah.
by the last little section there, I was like, all right, there was a rub with the track and the vocal at the beginning that I probably can't even explain with my little studio knowledge, but there's something didn't feel exactly right. I know Nick likes to say glued in. I don't think that was it. I think it sat there okay, but I'm not sure the way it kicked off. Maybe it was the lyric, to be honest. And to your point, I could come back with the melody quite a few times, but I absolutely could not anywhere reproduce the title of the song, which has come my way. I only know that because I'm looking at it. So that, to your point about like the competition out there is wicked, as we have all understood with what we do for a living. So you have to, like, if your expectation is like you want to go to radio and you want to like really get all those things, then you got to shine that just a little bit more. But really, really nice, and thank you for sending that. Up next, Mr. Versu. This is featuring Dave 7, and this is called Incredible, and this is Dope or Nope.
Every word you say brought me miles away. You told me lies and I took 'em like a sweet mistake. Now I'm lost in space. I wonder if you regret it. Every word you say brought me miles away. You told me lies and I took 'em like a sweet mistake. Now I'm lost in space. I wonder if you regret it. Every word you say brought me miles away. You told me lies and I took 'em like a sweet mistake. Now I'm lost in space.
Dab 7. That's called Incredible. It says Demo Wave. So, who would like to go first?
Why don't you go first this time?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. So, I love this. Hold on.
Wow. Go ahead.
I don't know how loud that is to you guys, but yeah, great job. Really cool moving into the second drop. I don't, again, there's a thing about like, what was the actual hook? There are sometimes I hear a song and like, I don't care.
Sure.
Because it was good. It was that good.
This could be one of them.
And I think for me, this is one of those times where it's just like, yeah, I could listen to that again. I really like the the contrast between the vocal and the two break sections. The second break was fun. I wasn't expecting that sort of stutter into it, and then an entirely different place as far as the track. So cool job, Versu, nice one. Yeah, I don't have a lot to. I'm sure there's a lot of like studio stuff to talk about. Could I get that played on the radio? Probably be a tough one because it's a little, it's a little hard in sections there, and it would not. So when I attack something at radio, if my expectation is, I just want this couple of stations, or if I'm working on something like Swedish House Mafia, where it's the stuff they're doing more lately, or Steve Angelo, where it's like similar. I know my scope is these stations, and I won't get the across everybody. This would be probably something I could get played in a few places. It wouldn't be across all the radio stations because that's quite a broad span of sounds. But yeah, well done.
Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead, Lauren.
So I thought that the vocals are too muffled, and they're muffled on purpose. But what's happening is you can keep that muffled on the bottom end. It's almost like a distortion at the bottom end of the vocal, but at the top it's just covered almost completely. So what you could do is keep what you have and then get the dry vocal and get a second track and just thin it out with an EQ in the bottom and the top of it, and just have the middle part of the dry vocal and poke it up through what you have, and it will make it more clear. It will make it more articulate without taking away any of the effects that you've got there now, and you'll still get the same feeling, but it will just be a little clearer to listen to and to therefore hear what she's saying. So that's one. Second one is you did this thing where you built right up to the drop, and then it dropped, but the vocal sang right up to the drop, but there was a pre-drop male vocal sample that said something, and they crashed. And you can never crash a vocal. That's the number one rule of radio for sure, and certainly dance music. You crash the two vocals, which meant that I was like, which feeling am I meant to have, and also who's saying what, and I couldn't catch it. So just choose, basically. And the drop felt great, really good actually, but slightly busy, and again a little muffled. And maybe that's the intention, but I think whatever you're trying to do, I think you're trying to do 12 things, make it 11, make it 10, maybe 9. If you're trying to do 7 things, make it 6. So whatever you're trying to do, or how many instruments that you have that are doing stuff, go through them and just try a technique of running through the drop and just clicking mute on one thing and then unmute it, and then go to the next one and unmute it, and just keep going through until you go, that sounded the same but better, and then you'll know what you don't need. And the last thing is that there's an ARP sound that you have in the background which is fantastic. It's so nice. It's in the the breakdown, I guess the second chorus or whatever out. Sounds great, and it's very low in the mix, and then you make it louder, and I think I really, really like it louder, and I'm sad that it's a lost opportunity when it's so low in the mix. So consider another way of making it more prominent, because it's so awesome. That's really it. Hope it helps.
Yeah, don't make Lauren sad. So it was really giving me like Insomnia vibes when it first started. So keyboarding, and that sort of took me on this journey in this song. I like the cool girl vocals.
Same.
Yeah, I'll listen to her anytime, but I understand what you guys were saying kind of about how they could be cleaned up a little bit so that you could understand what she's saying more. But I really like the sound of this track.
Super neat. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's get cracking to the next demo. This is Michael Gerald. Try to say that a few times fast. And this is Dope or Nope. Can't Tell It All, the final master, right here.
have some feedback already.
Lauren's like, I'm ready. Damn it.
Oh, I'm so ready. So the drop felt a little incongruent. And I was listening to it intently, trying to figure out what was wrong with it, and I think I've got it. It's the bass line doesn't match the top line up. So that shimmery sound makes it sound like when that drop hit, it kind of sounds a little too commercial, a little too cheesy. And I'm like, what is wrong with this? Because there's something, but all of it sounds nice. The sounds are good sounds. And then I was like, oh, that shimmering sound on top is the cool thing that makes you like the record. Right. But then there's the bass, there's the kick, which is a nice-ish kick. It's a rounded kick that's punching through. But then there's a bass line which is also trying to play a noted thing. It's also trying to go or dum 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 or something. It's doing something, and that whatever that pattern is interfering with the swing of the top line shimmer. And I think if you remove the bass and just let the kick happen with that shimmer, it would sound really impressive. Then you need to add the bass, and the second you do, why is it sounding cheesy? Because they're not working together. So try a different bass, and what I would suggest is just hold the bass note down, so it's just this long hum note, and then try side chain it, so it's just pulsating with the kick. And that, like right now, if you listen to just the bass, it's not. It's trying to go trying to do something. It's not matching the shimmer of the top line. So I would suggest change your bass line pattern that it's playing. Like keep the basses if you want, but that would be how to fix the song, in my humble opinion.
John?
Or just burn me online. Just
I mean, any 80s vibes in that at all? I mean, even the way that they use the samples in there sounded totally. Like
80s
early sampling days of like 1988 or something. So pretty fun. I thought it had good energy. I feel like the vocal sample of the people singing Can't Tell It All or Just Can't Tell It All sounds like it could be integrated into the track a little more. So I guess I'm saying it doesn't sound all that glued in, to use everyone else's phrase. But I'm going to start saying that it could sound more integrated into the track and just have a little bit of a better fit. So.
Yeah. I mean, Lauren's probably explained what it was exactly I was hearing. I was like, what is that? Why is it not like completely comfortable? I couldn't put my finger on it, but I guess the bass line, as you were saying that, and then I turned it up again at the end there, it did sound like quite busy. So but yeah, overall a good track. I love the 80s vibe. I think personally I would go more in that direction. I would say you want the 80s to just go in, and you can't like sort of own 80s, you can't sprinkle that. You have to be all the way in if you're going to make a track like that. And the way that vocal was used, I felt very 80s in there, and it could be like fun and cute, and instead, don't be so serious about it. Maybe that's my layman's term for what Lauren was saying.
Guess I'll try cooler again.
So anyway, but nice job. That was who was that again? Michael Gerald. Can't tell it all. Let's see. Radio Dave. Oh, what do you think Dave brought this week? What do you think?
Fire.
This is called Show Me What You Got. Radio Dave on Dope or Nope. Radio Dave, show me what you got. And gentlemen, what do you got?
This guy is like Vegemite. He just does exactly what he says on the tin. Right on the lid, it says Radio Dave, and you open it, and that's what you get.
And this is Radio Dave.
Never disappoints. It sounds expensive. It sounds the bass choices that you've used will cut through on any system, whether it be a phone, a laptop, a nightclub, a car. The clarity that you've got in the vocal sounds really cool, especially when it just like dropped in, when it was like during the first build into the first drop. The clarity in the vocal almost sounded harmonic. It sounded like it was a bit of vocoder to it that really shone through and was produced well and like pushed right out in the middle of the mix. It's beautiful. And then when it drops, it does exactly what I was trying to explain a few records ago, where I said your drop needs to sound a little more clearer. This one does that. It has beautiful attack, a beautiful clarity. And now you'd almost be thinking about, well, what could you put in to create some headphone candy, or some, not shakers, but just something in the mid high ends. Or maybe there's another layer of bass you could probably try, like a very thin extra layer to make it not sound only like a saw bass the whole time. Apart from that, it was great. I'll take a bell.
Oh. Hey, I just want to play this one part because it sounds like something different's happening. Hold on.
it is. That's the thing I was telling you about, the bass, the lead. It's got another sound on the top.
Yeah, super
Can you hear?
cool.
There's two. Can you guys hear that? There's two noises.
Really fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
All the bells.
All right. Thank you. I'm gonna have to get an actual bell, because
Right.
those times when Nick's not here, this always happens. Yeah. I always feel like expensive. What you say expensive to me is like so clean.
Yeah. Right.
But also dirty when it needs to be.
Sure.
But in a really sharp way, right? So that's that piece when you take the lid off. It's always Radio Dave is this to me. Besides something banging. I think it was like that one week where he dropped off what was like kind of a chill record, and I think all of us were like, "What?"
Right. That's Radio Dave.
Yeah.
Right.
But this is really good. Thank you for dropping that off, Dave.
Yeah. Show me what you got. He just showed us what he's got, and what he's got is a great instinct for coming up with compelling tracks. So, I mean, it was really interesting with the female vocal to start, and then while we started talking about it, that male kicked in. So there's more to this song than we even really had a chance to hear. So, yeah, nice work, Radio Dave.
Yeah, I mean it's almost 6
again,
minutes long. So
okay, it's quite a journey.
Yeah, totally. But yeah, Dave, thanks for dropping that off. Wow, we did it. We're at 4:01. I know Lauren's got to bust out of here and get cross town.
Oh crap! I really have to go.
Yeah. So thank you
so much
everyone
fun,
for
I'm telling
joining
you.
us. What's that?
Having so much fun.
For sure.
These
Yeah, so
records
this
are great. This is a great
Yeah.
week. What a great session. Really good
Really
music.
solid stuff. Again, Dope or Nope every
video quality,
Thursday.
not so much. Video quality was a little all over the show.
I had to
I know,
make this
like
thing up. What we're seeing now is I had to move
Amazing.
stuff around, change the sizes.
phenomenal.
Nailed it.
Right. We had a partial sponsorship there from Disco Fries at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Very, very pleased with that. They managed to, and Hess, you'll be pleased to know, and I'm sure they'll be pleased to know if they go back on look back, that we managed to get a mention of finishmytrack.com in without even mentioning it.
Without even saying it. You're
It was
right.
Nick didn't
Yeah,
even
the
have
whole
to be
album.
here.
It was there
Very-
right from the beginning. Right.
I'm telling
Exactly.
you, Nick
And
Dietrich.
also, thank you to
Danny-
the Fries for lending us their YouTube and Twitch and I think
yeah,
Twitter
great.
as well.
Just all the good shit.
Yeah, we
Yep.
just took everything over.
Yeah.
So we do this every Thursday. I think Raquel's going to be out a little bit. She's in South
Yeah.
Korea, enjoying
Yep.
herself there. John is out next week. Lauren, are you good?
Next week I can do, and then after that I'm out to Spain for a week, and then back for a couple of weeks, then out to Amsterdam, Sweden, Italy. So I'm around.
Wow.
I'll
Here
say.
and there.
I'm not
Adios.
traveling at all. For the month of September, I'm
Beautiful.
not traveling, and I'm doing grounding and just doubling down on my meditation and staying ahead of the burn.
Very good. Or staying completely out of the burn. Or that
Right.
as well.
That's yeah.
All right, guys.
So
I gotta go.
thanks everyone for joining.
All right.
See you next week. Peace.
Thank you.
See ya.